start. Can you see my screen, Vinaya?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we'll start with automation testing. Okay. I mean, the basics. I think that should be fine. Whatever the classes we had, right? The last two classes on the manual testing side. So those should be fine. Maybe you can just refer when you get some time and see if we have any questions. Maybe in later some days. Okay. We'll discuss.
Okay.
But yeah. So, when it comes to the automation, do you know anything on the just any basic idea on the automation, like what kind of tools they are using, and I mean, where they'll write the code and how to install, what is Java and all, anything? Just wanted to know. I think it's if we don't know anything, then that should be fine. No problem.
No, I don't know.
Okay, no issues. Yeah, okay. So since most of the companies are following the automation, so every company might be having some kind of web application, right? I mean, web application when I say it's like the application which is opening in the browser. Okay, it can be any browser,
Okay.
Chrome or Internet Explorer. I think you might be knowing the browsers, right? So okay.
Oh, yeah.
So and I mean it can be any kind of application, Facebook or Gmail or anything. Okay. So
Okay.
so as we discussed before, the automation is mainly for regression testing. When you have some test cases that you need to run repeatedly for each new release or when a new functionality has come. So that is the reason. So we are mainly going for automation so that you can save your time and save some money. Okay. So so in that sense, right now in the market, Selenium, which is a tool, Selenium WebDriver, which is a tool basically, and it is used to automate the web application, any kind of web application. Okay, Selenium WebDriver, and but Selenium WebDriver needs some supporting language, scripting language. Okay, to write that automation scripts using Selenium, so you should have some language support. So it can be either Java, C#, Perl, or okay, Python. So there are many languages which is supporting the Selenium, which has to be integrated with Selenium to write the automation scripts. Okay. So, but right now, I mean, in the market, Java is the most widely used. So we'll have the sessions on Selenium with Java. Okay. So
Okay.
those two are, I mean, basically open source. I mean, it's a freeware. You can just directly download from the internet, install it in any operating system. I mean, any of your system, and you can just run it. You can just write the scripts and automate your applications. Okay, it is free, no cost involved, so it is and totally free. So that is the reason, since these are open source, I mean, people will say it is open source, it means it is available anywhere if you have internet connection. Okay, so that's the main advantage for the Selenium. It is used to automate your any kind of web application, and it's a freeware, and it can run in any operating system. So if you write your scripts in Windows, so that will run even in MacBook or whatever without any changes. Okay, so you just write your scripts in any operating system, that will run anywhere. Java is platform independent, they'll say. It is not platform dependent. I mean, so when people say platform independent, it means that you write in any operating system, you can run it in any other operating system. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, so these Selenium and Java both are free, and so used to automate your any kind of web application. Okay, so to do that, maybe I'll start with the installation part. Okay, And the code, right? You have to write your automation scripts, right? So that you write in some IDE, they'll say IDE in the sense integration development environment. It is a tool where you write your code. You can also write in Notepad, but that's not easy. You have to remember everything in Notepad. But there are some ready-made tools where they'll show you what are the methods available. How you can write the code, and it's very easy to write in tools instead of in Notepad or some text editors. Okay, so so there are different tools like Eclipse, okay, and IntelliJ and Spring tool suit. I mean, there are different tools. So where you can write your automation script. Okay. So these all are free. You can just download from the internet and use. Okay. So
Okay.
as you see right now, this is Eclipse.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
This is how it looks like. And you just write your okay. I mean, these are the different projects which I have, but you don't worry about these all projects, okay?
Okay.
Because at the end, you will be knowing all these things. How do you create uh, all these things? Okay? You don't worry about this. Okay. So this is Eclipse, which is IDE where you write your code, Java code. I mean, you write your automation scripts. Okay. And
Okay.
for now, it looks quite difficult to understand for you because you're entirely new to this, right? You don't know what is this tool and what are these lines and all, but it is quite easy, and I'll tell you why. But before that, so installation part, if you see,
Mm-hmm.
install Eclipse, I mean, download Eclipse automation. So I mean, you can download Eclipse for any of the sites. Okay, you can also, so Guru 99 will give guru99.com. This will give I mean good presentation for the Selenium. Okay, you
Okay.
can also see how to download and install Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so if we go here and see, so you need these three things: install Java SDK, install Eclipse, and install Selenium WebDriver files. So these
Okay.
three you need to install to start your automation scripts. Okay. So you need Java because that is a language. You need
Oh,
Eclipse because this is where you write your code. And this is the Selenium where it has methods to automate your application. Okay.
okay.
So the first step when you see, install Java on your computer. Okay. They have also given a link here. Download install Java. If you click here, so it will open this one, right? So you can just download the Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Windows. Since mostly we go for Windows. If it is 64 installer, maybe you
Mhm.
download this one, JDK 18, Windows 64, and once the
Okay.
exe file is downloaded, you can directly execute that.
Is it
Okay.
different for Mac OS?
It's not different from Mac OS, but it is like you have different exe file for Mac OS.
Okay.
The installation will be the same, but
Okay.
the file is a little different. For Mac OS, there is a different kind of. I
Okay.
think maybe you have like this Mac for Mac. There is something called X64 compressed archive DMG installer. So you have Mac or Windows?
I have Mac.
You have Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No issues. Yeah. I mean, and once you
Can you?
download. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you just have to follow the steps which they give, nothing else. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. But we're on the Java platform, JDK support. Okay, I mean, Windows we have like this, right? 64, Windows 64, and
Yeah.
32-bit and 64-bit. And how do you have like it's the same? I'm not sure about how the Mac has this. You have
I don't.
64-bit Mac, something like that, or
I have no
you're not
idea.
sure? Oh, okay, 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 no problem. You can also, I mean, just Google it how to, uh, I mean, install Java in Mac. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
download Mac Mac OS 6x64 compressed archive. I think this is the one you just have to download and install it.
Okay.
Installation is simple. Once you download, you just have to double click and follow the steps which they say.
Sure.
Okay. So on the command prompt, if you say Java, then it will show you this one. I
Okay.
mean, they have given the steps here anyway. You just have to follow this one.
Yeah, okay.
Just download and yeah, just follow the exe file. That's all. Nothing else you need to do.
Okay.
And then you have to install Eclipse. Eclipse is also same. I mean, they have given
Mhm.
a link here. If you go here, just have to download Eclipse. Download x86 I think it does not. I mean, there is no difference between Mac and Windows. It's the same for all.
Okay.
Okay, for Eclipse,
Okay.
you just have to download this one. That's all. So you will have an icon like this. You just have to double click
Mhm.
and that will open this tool. Okay.
Okay.
So once you install Eclipse and Java, and then Selenium, download Selenium Java client driver. Okay. So
Okay. Java. Yeah, sure.
yeah, but basically this is to for the Selenium. Okay, there are many jar files which are needed. Okay. So what we do, we will not follow this one. Okay. The third
Okay.
step will not follow. Why? Because there are many jar files which you need to download and maintain in your system. Okay. So instead of
Okay.
that, what we do, there is something called Maven. Okay.
Mm.
Maven, I mean, that I'll show you how it looks like, but that is quite easy. And you just have, there is one XML file where you have to specify the jar files there, but that I'll tell you later, that you don't need to worry. But right now, I mean, if you want to start with that, you just have to install Java and install Eclipse. Okay.
So you want
So
me to proceed with step one and step two, right?
yeah, step one and step two, that's all. So
Okay.
when you say download
Okay.
Eclipse for any Selenium, so you can just go to the Guru 99 site and just follow those steps. That should be easy. But if you stuck it, I'll be there anyway. So I'll help you. So that's not an issue. But just letting you know. Okay. So once Java is installed and Eclipse is installed, the third one just ignore for now. So it will be like this. So there will not be anything. Okay. These all will not be there because I mean for the first time, because these are the projects which I have created. Okay. So suppose if you so I'll close all these things. That's all. This is how you looks like. I mean, even this project package it will be like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So what you have you have to do. So I mean, it is not like theory and then practicals and then like how you do in the class or maybe training sessions. It's quite different. It's like how you do in your organization. Okay, how do you start your creating your project, and how do you
Mm-hmm.
automate, and while automating, what are the um, all these things, like, I mean, let me just open that. All the concepts what we have uh, will be covered as part of that. Let me open the course content. So I'll start with Java, and I'll tell you what
Okay.
is the Java. I mean, I'll not tell you in the theoretical way. I'll just, I mean, while doing the practicals, we'll cover the theoretical, all these things. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And what are the whoops? I mean, there is something called object oriented programming. Java is like object oriented programming. Why they say Java is object oriented programming? Because these are the four concepts most of the interviews people will ask you. What is abstraction? What is encapsulation? What is polymorphism and inheritance? They'll ask what is the object oriented programming concepts we have in Java. How do you implement in your
Okay.
project? Okay. And apart from that, string, I mean, we have something called data, right? We'll be having data everywhere. Wherever you go, you have data. Okay. So what kind of
Mm-hmm.
data it is? Integer, string, double, boolean. Do you know what is these things? Data types? You ever
I
heard
heard.
about those?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So integers, like it is a numbers, right? When you have some numbers, so you declare that as a integer.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have string, some names, okay, combination of words, then you declare them as a string. And double, you have something called amounts, where they have uh, I mean the fractions and the uh, amounts, right? You'll be having digits
The
in the
numbers.
amounts. Yeah. So those, the data type will be double. I mean, there are different data types we have in Java. So what are the data types we have? And after that, control statements, like there are some conditions. If, else, if this condition meets, then those particular block will be executed. Else what has to execute. I mean, all this will be covered as part of the course, and all, I mean, everything. The concepts which we have in core Java will be covered. And then then we'll start with the Selenium. I mean, we'll take, as we as I told you before, we'll take one mm, we'll take this automation practice site, and we'll try to automate this web application, because this application has many features which every web application is having. Okay, all kind of check boxes, radio buttons, drop downs, text boxes, and so mouse over, and okay, so anything. So if you are able to automate this web application, then I think you are good to automate any kind of web application using Selenium on Java. Okay. So then the Selenium will start with Selenium concepts, and we'll say framework. I mean, you write your code, but you have to write in a code in structured format, and it is easy to maintain. You have to write in such a way that anybody can understand and easy to maintain, and you have to divide your test cases and the actual logic, and the, I mean, there are different modules we have. You have to divide each module uh, and you have to write in a structured way that we call as a framework. Okay, so the right now in the market, the framework which is going is page object model. So I'll from the day one when the automation starts, so we'll try to implement the page object model framework, so that by end of the course you'll be comfortable, uh, you'll be comfortable in that framework, because every organization is following the same framework, most of the organizations, almost all. Okay, so by end of the course, if you're good with uh, automating the application using page object model, and wherever you go you'll do the same, there is no difference. So only so Maven page object model framework using Selenium WebDriver and Java. Okay, so will Maven is a different concept, but I'll tell you what is that. And if you know these three things, Maven and page object model framework using Selenium and Java, and you should be good enough to start your job anywhere. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'll tell you other frameworks. There are different frameworks which we have, but mostly we'll concentrate on the practical side, the page object model, POM framework. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So so when I say Maven, okay, I'll tell you maybe in 5 minutes what is Maven, so that you understand it. Okay, so basically there is something called jar files. Okay, those are libraries. They'll call as libraries. Okay, so to have Selenium, to automate the Selenium, to automate the web application using Selenium, you need to have Selenium jar files, Selenium libraries, which you need to download from the internet and maintain in your system. Using those libraries you will automate it basically. Okay, so what you have to understand here, to automate your web application, you have to have Selenium library files, which they'll call jar files, JAR, Selenium library files, which are jar files. Okay, so those are in uh, big size. It is those Selenium jar files you have to download and explicitly maintain in your system. Okay, and if you're giving your project to somebody else, and they also have to download and they have to install, they have to maintain in their system. So to whomever you are giving this project, they have to download all the jar files, all the library files, and maintain. Okay, but instead of that, right, these from uh, to avoid that, and there is something called, they have introduced Maven. Okay, so what is Maven? So what Maven will do, so when I say Maven, it is just, there's nothing but pom.xml file. There will be one XML file where you have to just write what you need. Okay, so I'll show you how it looks like, so that you understand it better. Okay, so this is the pom.xml file. Okay, so here you have to say, you can just ignore all these things, it is not required right now. Okay, so since you're right now you're we are automating web application, we need Selenium, right? Under dependency tag, this is tag, this is how the XML looks like. Okay, pom.xml, it will be created automatically, the ID will create, you don't need to create anything. I'll show you how it will create. But once the XML file is created, so what you have to do, you have to mention, I need this Selenium Java and this jar file, and this is the version. I need Selenium server. This is the version. I need Selenium Chrome driver to run your application in Chrome. I need this one and this version. You just have to mention this one. You don't need to download anything and maintain your system. In this pom.xml file, you just have to maintain the dependencies. They'll say dependencies. So what is the dependency you need? So I need Selenium Java. So those dependencies I need. Okay, just mention here. So what will happen? The project will automatically download from the internet and it will maintain. You don't need to explicitly maintain anything in your system. When you just write these dependencies in pom.xml file, so you don't care about anything. You can give this project to anybody as long as they have internet, so they don't care. I mean, the first time it will download from the internet and it will maintain your system. I mean, you don't need to explicitly download and remember. Okay, so I just forgot about this. Okay, think right now, you don't know anything, you're just creating a project. So the project which we are creating is Maven project, Maven based. They'll say Maven based project. So what I'll do, I'll go to file and say new. Okay, new. I'll go to other. There is something called Maven. Okay, new Maven project. Next, we have to say create simple project. I mean, it will create a structured project for you. Okay, click next, and you have to give name of the project. It can be any name. Okay, so let's give automation. We already have training practice, right? Automation. Uh, okay, let's say Selenium automation. Anything. And the same name you have to give here in the artifact ID and click it finish. Click finish it. And as you see, the Selenium automation is created here. If I expand this, so these all the folders it has created. These we call as a packages. Okay, packages is nothing but folders. I mean, we'll be having folders, right? Like this. So you'll be having downloads, documents. These are folders, right? So if I go to downloads, I'll be having all my downloads. So if you can create a folders, right? Here you can just right click and create a folder. Why we create these all things? Just for maintenance, right? See, I have under documents, I have something called IT returns. I have interviews. I have Capgemini. All I maintain, all the documents related to Capgemini I'm maintaining here. All my MCA I have created a folder, and I'm just maintaining all my educational documents here. Okay, and I'm maintaining all my IT returns here. Okay, resume. I'm maintaining my resumes here. Okay, so this is how we just create the folders. Why do we need to create the folders? It is easy to maintain, easy to understand, right? Uh, just stop me if you have any doubts. Okay, so in the
Sure.
same way, how do we create? Why do we create all these folders and maintain? Easy to maintain, easy to understand. Because if I have everything here without folders, if I create everything like this in one folder, so it's very hard for me to go back and see where my I mean, if I don't mention proper names to those files, it is very hard for me to understand. Okay, to find a specific document, it might take so much of time, and it will finally you'll get frustrated to search and find the exact document. But if I maintain while creating itself, while maintaining the documents itself, if I maintain in such a way, all my flight tickets will be here. I can go and refer all my company cash agent LNT, my previous company um, uh, experience letters, everything I'm maintaining in. I mean, Yeah, I don't need to tell you in that detailed way, but it's like that, right? So you just maintain all your in folders. But in Java, we'll say there is a package. Okay, the same folder is a package. We call these as package. Okay, so as you see, if I go to E, I have workspace. See, when the Selenium automation is created here, when I created a project here, so
Mhm.
I mean, while opening the Eclipse itself, we say the workspace where you want to create the project. It will ask. So I said E workspace. Workspace means my work. I created a workspace, and then when I create a project here, it will create under the E workspace Selenium automation. Inside, see, these are folders it is created. SRC main, SRC main test. Inside test, I have some Java, some resources. So this is also folder structure. Target. In here in the target, it will create the reports. And see, pom.xml file is created. SRC. So in the test folders, I'll create test files. And in main folders, I'll create logics. Okay. I mean, you'll be getting that later, but basically when we are creating a Maven based project, so by default it will create source main Java, source main resources, source test Java, source test resources. All this folder structure it will create automatically. Okay. Wherever you go to any kind of organization, you will see this one. Project name might be different. You have your own project, right? ICICI will be having ICICI. The name can be different. Okay, since our project is Selenium automation, so I just created project name as Selenium automation. Apart from that, you will see all these same folders. Wherever you go, you see this, and you see the pom.xml file. At the basic structure, you will see it here. Wherever you go, you will see all this. Okay, so uh, so after that, what we'll do, we'll just create under main Java. So basically, why do we need to have all these different folders? Because easy to maintain. When we say resources, under resources, we maintain test data. Okay, the under resources folder will maintain the test data, the data which is required to automate. So what is the data here? Suppose we are signing in. So we are creating a new I have your mail ID. Is that- Okay. Let's take. I mean, this information, first name, last name, email, these all is kind of a test data. So you can maintain this test data in one file and you can maintain inside the resources, something like that. Okay, basically. So test Java, this is where your actual test cases you will maintain. Under main Java, you will maintain your actual logics. I'll show you how that looks like, but yeah, that's how it is. But basically, the concept you have to understand is that Maven based project, when you are creating, all these folders will be created for the maintainability, easy to maintain, easy to understand if you divide your tasks. Okay. Okay. Now, pom.xml file we are in, right? Here, pom.xml file. See, this is how it will be. Very initially, this is how it will be. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to, since to develop Selenium and Java, you have to have the Selenium libraries, right? So since we are not, we are maintaining Maven based project, so what we'll do, instead of downloading from the internet, we'll just mention the dependencies here. We'll just write the
Okay.
dependencies. Okay, for that, so right now I have dependencies in another project. Okay, either I can copy paste this one, so but you have to know this, right? So what I'll do, I'll go to the Google, I'll say Maven dependency for Selenium Java. When I say this one, it will take me to Maven repository, MVN repository.
Okay.
I'll just go there. This is just one time job, but don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about this one. Once you know, then it will be very easy. So I'll
Okay.
take the little older version, 3 point, or maybe let me, okay. You can take the latest one, anything you can take. So I'll just copy this one, copy this dependency, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to, this is your project, this is your format XML, right? You have to maintain here. So since we'll be
Yeah.
having many dependencies, there is another tag called dependencies. So this is how it has to be. So this is the extra code which we have written. Dependencies is the tag,
Okay.
and inside that we copy this one from the internet, and we are closing this. I mean, here we have opened this one. Close will be having like this. If we have this line, it is like closing. So under dependencies, you can you can write a number of dependencies. Okay, this is for Selenium and Java. Likewise, we have okay. I think that should be enough. Okay. So I mean, yeah, this is how you basically include this one. You maintain all your dependencies here. Right now, I mentioned only Selenium Java. When you are starting your actual application, we need Chrome dependency as well. Chrome because that is the browser, so we have to see the browser dependency as well. We'll tell that. We'll see that later. Okay. So I mean, this is the project, and these are the packages. Okay. And what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'll show you one Java class. We'll create and we'll run that Java class. Okay, to do that, we'll just have to right click and say new. We'll create some package as well. I mean, for more. Okay. Otherwise, just okay. We'll just create new class, and class name we have to give. We have to give just sample Java. You have to check this public static void main. Just finish it. Okay. So this, I'll show you what is this. Just, okay. So when I say, I mean everything you write, all your test classes, all your automation scripts, all your logics, everything you write inside the Java class. Okay. So whatever you write, all your code has to be inside the Java class. Whatever you wanted to write, it has to be in the Java class. So the first thing is you need to create class. Okay. What I said, I just said right click a new class and just give the class name.
Yeah.
and public static void main. I'll tell you why is this one, and then click finish. So it was created this one. Okay. So I'm just printing hello world,
Okay.
simple Java class. And when I say run as Java application,
Okay.
so it will print um
Hello world.
hello world inside this console. See hello world. Okay. So this is just to print system.out.println is the method just to print whatever you write here. Okay. Uh, Public is the one, it is the access modifier. Okay. In Java, we have different modifiers: private, public, protected, and default. So when it is created as public, it means that this class can be accessed from anywhere, any other classes. If you
Okay.
write some common methods here, those methods you can use it in another classes. I'll tell you later what is that. But public is like access modifier, access. Public, you say it is a public, this class is public. I'm creating a class, the class name is sample Java class. I mean, this is the standard syntax, you don't need to remember anything. Public class sample Java. And public static void main, why do we need this one? Because okay, before that I need to tell you there are two, like in Java we have two concepts. We have something called JDK and JRE. Okay, JDK, when I say it is Java Development Kit, and JRE it is Java Runtime Environment. Okay, the code which you are writing here, it's all like JDK, Java Development. You develop the code and runtime environment. It will provide some environment and it will run in the, when you have JRE, it will run, the Java will run it. When you have JDK, you can write your code. Okay. So when you are running this one, JRE will try to find if I have something called public static void main. That is how, I mean, you just understand the concept, but you don't need to worry about this one, because that is how the Java they have developed. Java because you will be writing so much of code and so many Java classes, but you, but you have to know what is the starting point, right? Starting point, where I have to start. I have so many classes, I have so many methods, but where I have to start with, what is the starting point for me? So the starting point is public static void main. JRE will understand when there is a public static void main, so it will try to run from that. So that is the reason when you are writing a Java class, you have to have public static void main, so that JRE will understand, okay, this is my starting point. Okay, public static void main method. This is the main method. Basically, they'll say main method. And string arguments, yeah, I mean, will not be using much, but this is the standard syntax. Public static void main and string you will find anywhere. And even also while you are creating a class, that is the reason it will ask you, if you check this one, it will create automatically. If you don't check, it will not create. Okay, so now you have created one class and just printed hello world. Okay, and okay, so so in Java, all your code you write in the class and inside methods. Inside the class, you have to have methods. Okay, I mean, in public static void main, you can write all your code here. These are the comments, basically comments you can write in your Java, but all your code you can write it here. Okay, But for yeah, any questions?
Mhm. No.
Okay. All your code you write here inside the public static void main, you can also write, but for maintainability and easy to understand, what you do, you just write your you write methods, you write separate methods. Okay, suppose I'm creating a method, public void, I'll say y void, but yeah, add. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just int a equal to 2, int b equal to 3, int c equal to a plus b,
Okay.
and I'll print that some value c. Whatever you give inside the double quotes, it is constant. It is just the name. Whatever you give inside the double quotes, it will print as it is. But when you say c, so it means it will expect these, we call as a variables.
Okay.
A, B, C are the variables. And what is the
Mm.
type of variable? Integer. This is integer type.
Yeah.
P also integer type. Since these two are integer, we are summing these two, and this has to be integer. Okay. So when you are giving like this instead of double quotes, then you have to declare. You have to create a variable. Only then you can see. If I don't create this one, then it will show this error. It will show you C
Yeah.
cannot be resolved to a variable. Okay. So what I'm doing here,
Mhm.
int a2 b3 and okay. But if I run this one, it will not, it will print only hello world. It will not print this one because you're writing a method, but this method JRE don't know this one, right? JRE know only main method, and it started here, ended here. That's all. It know only inside this one, inside this block, whatever is there, it will execute. But if there is
Yeah.
something called outside, it will not execute. So what you have to
Okay.
do, so you just have to call this one, just call that add. Okay, since this is the static method, you also have to mention static here while creating. But
Okay.
if I just run this as
Mm.
Java application, now it will print some value 5, hello world, some value 5, right?
Okay.
So everything you write inside the method, you can also write this code here. I mean, you don't need to write the Java method, you can also write it here instead of this one. You can directly write the code here. Okay, it will print the same hello world, some value 5. Okay, but why do we write as a method like this? In the sense, to maintain, easy to maintain, I mean, they'll understand, right? Okay, this is the sum. Okay, this code is for sum. If you want to write something for uh, subtraction, some method for subtraction, okay, then it is easy for them to understand, right? If you write here the addition code and again subtraction code and again whatever the other but it will give you some confusion. But if you write
Yeah.
as a method, and also see this method, and one that tell you another, I can tell you this method, when you call this method, it will add 2 3, it will always give you 5,
Yeah.
but you might need to pass the values dynamically.
Mm.
Okay, in those cases what you do, you can, I mean, you can declare some parameters, int a comma int b. You don't need to these two here. Okay, add 2 comma 3. So when I write like this, what will happen, I'm saying add, I'm passing two parameters. 2 comma 3
Okay.
to this method. So what is this 2? It is integer, right? So while calling this method, I have to say integer A, integer B. So this 2 will go into this A variable, and this 3 will go to B variable, and C equal to A plus B, some value 5. I can call this method a number of times with different values, 5 comma 6, 7 comma 8, whatever. So
Okay.
if I just run this one, it will say some value 5 and some value 11, some value 15.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm reusing this method I mean, right now just for practice purpose we are writing it here, but in your actual coding, actual implementation, when you are going forward, so you'll be having
Okay.
different methods, okay, where you have to reuse the same method. I mean, you might need to reuse the method in different classes, okay.
Okay.
So I mean, for reusing the functions, addition function here, so we are creating a method, writing the addition logic, and you can use this method anywhere. I mean, if suppose if I create another class, okay, second class basically, let's say public static void main. So for your requirement, you need to develop the same method like some addition method, okay. Suppose you have a requirement, you have to, I mean, even in this class you have to write some addition, but you already have written here, right, add method. So you don't
Yeah.
need to write this one, right? So what you do,
Mhm.
what is this class name? Sample Java. So
Yeah.
what I'll do, I'll say sample Java, some name equal to new s dot add, comma. So if I run this, see what will happen. So it's printed some value 16. So I'm just
Okay.
using this add method of this class to this class. I'm reusing this method.
Okay.
Suppose I have a method where there are n number of lines, some logic, okay, some complex logic, but I might
Mhm.
need the same method with the different parameters. Here we are passing 2 3, but I have to pass different values, but I need the same logic. So what I'll do, instead of writing the same n number of lines here in another class, what I'll do, I just call this method sample java dot add 7 comma 9. Okay, I mean, why I'm saying is that reusability, for reusability purpose, we maintain reusability and easy to maintain and easy to understand. Okay, when somebody see this one, they'll understand, okay, this add, I mean, the name itself it is saying add. Oh, okay, so there is, in this method there is a logic for addition. And if I write subtraction, some names, okay, there is a maybe, I mean, let me just do the same copy paste, and I'll say subtraction, I'll say c a minus b, I'll call this method, I'll call the subtraction of 9 comma 8, sorry, here, some value,
Difference.
yeah, thanks, difference value. So obviously it will give some value and then difference value. Okay.
Yes.
So we write all the code inside some methods for understanding purpose and maintainability and reusability. because all our code we are going to write from tomorrow's class is like in different methods. We'll try to reuse and we'll see how we are reusing it. Okay, just for an example, I'm just telling you. Okay, so basically, just to recap on today's class, so we have seen how to install Eclipse and how to install Java from the internet in the guru99.com. We just have to follow that steps which they have given. And once you download your Eclipse, okay, it will be like this. Let me just let's see the properties. Where is this one? Where is my Eclipse? Okay, let me. So I have downloaded Eclipse here. When you download, it will be like this. So all you have
Okay.
to double click this one.
Okay.
If you double click this one, so it will. Let me just close this and open the shortcut which I have created. If I try to open this one, so it will ask you. Initially, it will ask you where you want to create your workspace, where you have to maintain your code, your project. It will basically give you the default path. You can just browse and create. Where I just created under E, I said set workspace, and I selected that folder, and I just click launch. So once you install Java and Eclipse, so you just have to launch your Eclipse, okay, and it will launch. And you'll be having nothing here. Right? So what you have to do, you just have to go file and create a new other and create a Maven project. I mean, you can refer this video and create
Okay.
a simple project and click. I mean, you can also say how do I create Maven project. Internet, if you see, and it will give you all the steps. Name, artifact, and group ID. Just name, both has to be the same name. If you give and click on finish, then it will give you this one, this project. It will be like this. And here I have added this pom.xml file dependency, but right now for you it is not required. It is for Selenium, but we have not started Selenium, right? So you can
Yeah.
directly go to main Java and say create new class, give some name, and say public static void, finish it, and it will create you like this.
Okay.
It will create you like this one. It will. You can also say system.out.println hello world. So if that prints hello world in the console, then you are good. You have installed Java, you have installed Eclipse, and you are ready to start your practice. Okay. And just for if for some reason you don't find Maven,
Mm-hmm.
let me just show you. It's building something. Basically, I mean, while you're starting, what you do, you just go file a new Java project. You will create it, but no use. When you go create instead of Maven, we'll just create Java project. You can give some sample Java project. Also, you can give like this. Okay, and you can click on finish. Let's create. Okay, it's not required. So this is sample Java project is created and a source
Okay.
is created. You can also create here new Java class. You can the same way you can create the name and public static void main, just finish it and you'll be created a class. But this Java project you will create it, but it is not required for you at all. I mean, you'll not use this in your real time. Okay, in your real time, you always create new other Maven project. This is how you create in your real time. I mean, in the organizations. Okay, so that's why I just skipped to new Java project because you will not be using this at all. You will learn it some new Java project, but it is not required in your actual projects inside your company. So that is the reason I'm just directly creating Maven project because you'll be putting your experience, right? You'll not be putting as a fresher. You'll be putting experience in your resume. So when you put experience, you hello.
Yeah, hello.
There. Sorry, I thought.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, okay. Okay, so in your real time, you just directly create because you put as experience 5, 6 years, 7 years. You'll put. You'll not go as a fresher. Okay. So all they'll expect is like you know how to create a Maven project. That's all. If you say I know how to create a Java project, nobody cares that. You don't use this at all. So that is the reason I'm
Okay.
just directly creating as a Maven project.
Okay.
Okay. If I am giving this to freshers, then I might give them a little different. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean you're a fresher, but you look as experienced. Later point of right, you have to go as experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason it's quite different approach. How how you start your work in the organization. Because if
Okay.
I don't tell these all things, okay, but when you
Hmm.
go and when you assign the project, first time when you expand your project, you will see all these things.
Okay.
You might see what is this. So that is the reason I'm telling you. Finally, at the end of the what to say, end of this course, you'll be
Hmm.
having a phase object model framework. Okay, where that
Okay.
framework looks exactly. This is how you'll be having your framework. Okay, all results you'll maintain under resources. Test data you'll maintain here. Under test Java, you maintain your test classes, and this is something called page objects. This is, I mean, so wherever you go, this is how your project looks like. Okay, when you
Okay.
see this project in your organization, you should know. Okay, I'm good. I know all these things, so I can handle it. You have to be in that position. So that is the reason I'm telling you the page object model and the Maven. If you know these two, then you can manage. You can easily manage
Okay.
because that is where even the interview questions also will go around.
Okay.
Okay, they'll ask you how your project structure looks like. If you don't say these are all photo structures and I'll maintain my test data and results under test resources, I'll maintain all my test classes under test Java, I'll maintain all my logics inside main Java. If you don't say this one, they'll okay, thank you. They might think differently. Okay,
Okay.
okay. I think we will end the class here
Okay.
today, and yeah, we'll continue tomorrow.
Sure.
So let me know if you have
Okay.
any feedback on. So how do you want me? I mean, if it is going fast or slow or you don't understand whatever, because this is a starting point, right? If you just give
Yeah.
me the feedback, then I can try to go in that way so that it will be beneficial for you.
Okay.
Just think of and let me know if you have any
Yeah. You
improvements that
want
is
me to
needed.
download this? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no. If any improvements needs to be, then I'll try to improve.
Uh, no, actually, I just wanted to ask you whether I should be downloading all these, you know, Eclipse. The
Try to download Eclipse and Java.
Okay.
Okay. and it's quite easy if you follow the internet and try yourself basically. Okay,
Okay.
if you get
Okay.
stuck somewhere, then of course I'll
Mhm.
definitely help you. We'll figure out, we'll solve that. Okay, but just
Sure.
try to install, so that if you install and if you try how to search in Google, it will be,
Mhm.
I mean, uh, then you know better, right? You will be, I mean, if I directly take control and install it, then you'll not get much benefit. Okay, but I'll be here, right?
Yeah.
For to help you, I'll be here. But I want you to start with, I want you to search how to search in Google, because that is very important nowadays. Because
Mhm.
all the code, wherever you go, you will find in Google. Only thing
Okay.
is, searching is very important. If
Okay.
you don't know how to search, okay, and it will give you something else. But if you know the filter the search criteria, if you know how to search in the Google, and because everything will be available in the Google. If the Google is not there for one day, many of the companies will get shut down. Yeah, this is
Okay.
this is fact. Even every day I'll search in Google. See, even for you
Okay.
to tell the installation process, I searched in Google. Even though I have a number of years of experience, okay,
Mhm.
but I know how to search it. That's all.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
if I know how to search, and how do I use that the code from the Google to my project. If you know that, then you're good enough to start with anything. So that is the reason I want you to search it. I want you to try to install it. Okay,
Okay.
if you're
Sure.
if you're able to install it, then it is, I mean, for good. Otherwise, I can definitely there, I'll be help you on tomorrow how to install and everything. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, but yeah, yeah, just let me know if any issues or maybe any feedback on something, if I'm going fast, or so whatever you feel.
No, I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, so I'll send this
Good.
video.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.